think of the Weird Al biopic trailer?
Yeah, it's a parody of biopics, which...
Are you disappointed about that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm both in love and not in love with that. Like...
How come?
Well, I wanted to see an actual biopic, not like a movie. Like...
Yeah. Well, I mean, a biopic is a movie, but you wanted it played more straight, where it's actually the history of Weird Al.
Yeah.
So I know what
I wanted to learn things.
I know what Weird Al would say though. He would say that's a boring movie.
Yeah, is that interesting?
Right, but is any biopic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But there's also the formula where you sensationalize real life events, or embellish real hard, or exaggerate, and you kind of fit everything within the same mold. So, kind of like with the Queen biopic.
Yeah, I was going to say this is perfect.
Which was both nominated for an Oscar and lampooned really hard by almost everyone.
Yeah, this is perfect timing because we did the Queen one, we did the Rocket Man one, which is good, but I mean it's
and
still
the Elvis one just came
and
out.
the Elvis one, yeah. So this is like perfect timing if you can pull it off. If it's good, if it's great.
Yeah, and it's funny because Weird Al didn't have any of those brushes with drugs and alcohol, and promiscuity and stuff that a lot of bands do, and I have a lot of respect for him because he wrote the script, or he co-wrote the script, and so he's like really massively involved with this. Like he's not the lead actor, obviously, but it's his movie.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be, I'm partly excited just to get to see him try a movie again this long after UHF.
Yeah.
And you can see some UHF sensibilities in it.
Yeah.
Which is cool. But I've always respected Weird Al Yankovic, but I have a lot of respect for him for just putting out this clearly preposterous, like no holds barred kind of parody of biopics. And if there's any idiots out there that think any of it's true, he doesn't care. And that's really funny to me.
Yeah.
He's throwing himself under the bus so hard, and that's the joke. Where he's like, yeah, and I got into sex, drugs, and alcohol, and I slept with Madonna, and it's really funny.
I like that. I like that it's mature.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't expecting that, really. Like,
well, remember, like UHF has blood jokes and.
Yeah, I also like how it's, I don't know how much of it is, but how it's based off of some fan-made thing.
Yeah. So Funny or Die did a video that was exactly this.
Yep.
That it was a trailer. So they're basically making the movie that that trailer was for.
Yes.
With more of a budget and with Radcliffe instead of whoever did it in that. Who played him in that? I can't remember.
I don't remember.
Was it was it Jesse from Breaking Bad, or what? Maybe it wasn't him. I forget who it was. But anyway, so
why does he always cast really known for being short actors to play himself?
That's a good question. But yeah, that was the same thing where it was like heavily, ridiculously dramatic, and we took all of the like real world history and actual moments, but we couched them in the context of the Fall from Grace, rock star movie. I have one complaint about it so far, exactly one, and that is I wanted to hear Radcliffe sing Weird Al songs.
Yeah, it's so weird hearing his voice come out of his face.
Yeah.
Hearing Weird Al's voice just come out.
I think it is cool that Weird Al is so involved in the project that he's going in and ADRing his own voice. Like, you can tell they're not taking, like old master tracks and putting it in. Like, it's new tracks. It's Weird Al re-recording it for the scenes. And so it's cool, and I'll get used to it, and I'll warm up to it, and that's probably somehow supposed to be part of the joke. But I wish Radcliffe was singing. And I hope that there's, like, outtakes and stuff, or maybe, like... be really cool if they did another version that you could get on a disc later or something where it was him singing everything. Because on set he's got to be doing something. I just wonder, like, here's the thing: we know Ratcliffe can kind of sing, but he actually sounds weirdly like Weird Al, and they have a similar register. Like, one of the reasons I was excited about the casting choice was I found a video of him singing a lot like Al Yankovic.
He was a theater kid.
Yeah. And then I went and saw this trailer and went, oh, it's not his voice.
Yeah.
That's my only complaint. DJ, did you see the trailer?
I was watching while you guys were talking, so sorry if I wasn't listening.
Oh, that's fine. He's doing his homework right now.
I was just looking through it. Yeah, it looks interesting. I think I'll check it out. The Roku original.
Yeah.
Weird. It's cool to see Rainn Wilson doing something again. I haven't seen him do anything in the entertainment business for a long time.
That's true.
He seems fun. As like the Bruce Campbell naming him, doing like the Spider-Man scene.
Well, you know who that is? That's Dr. Demento.
Okay. Yeah, I was trying to listen to it.
He's playing Dr. Demento, yeah.
Oh. That's hilarious.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks fun. It looks good. It doesn't look cheap.
No, it doesn't.
I made fun of it because it's Roku, but at least they're putting some money into it.
Especially for a free movie. Like, no one's going to have to pay for that. It's supported entirely by ads.
Wow.
I hope it releases on disc.
Yeah, I don't want to watch it with ads.
Well, and Weird Al's always got a lot of really cool merchandise and swag and stuff. Like, there's no way that he would get involved in this and not have a good physical release. I wouldn't think. But no, I'm really excited about it. And as much as I was from the announcement, I think it looks great. The one big question I have is how much time it'll span. Because most of it is 80s, of course. And, when he first gets on Dr. Demento, and then when he gets popular and he's going on tour and he's doing like a Virgin and all of that. That's such a great trailer fodder line when she's like, except I've had a lot of sex. Like, it's really funny. But, like, is that true? Is like a Virgin true? Yeah. Except I've had a lot of sex. It's really funny. But then, there's one shot where you see Amish Paradise.
Yeah, where he goes like this for 1 second.
That's early 90s, and you go, okay, well, there's a couple things that you get from that. It means that we go at least into the 90s, and it means that they'll probably do a fake Coolio and have like a knockdown, drag down fight with him and Coolio. I bet that happens.
Interesting. There could also
know that history, right?
No.
Okay, real quick. Sorry. So, the real quick history with Amish Paradise. That is the one song that got really super popular that the artist didn't want Weird Al to record, and that the wires were crossed between Weird Al's people and Coolio's people. And Weird Al always, and he doesn't actually have to for making parodies, but he always has the respect for the other artist to make sure that he has their permission when he does a parody. And if anybody doesn't want him to do a parody, he skips it. He goes and does some other song. Yeah. Coolio didn't want that song made fun of. He took it really seriously. And his people, because of course, Weird Al's not calling them up himself. He's got agents. He's got an agent. He's got people that do this. And he was told that they had permission. And Coolio either the wires got crossed or he changed his mind and pretended like he never gave permission. And like, I wouldn't think Coolio would do that, but it's not like, it's not like you never know these people. So I don't know. It's like, it's hard to say what exactly happened with it. But the movie is clearly taking like little bits of stories that sound like they could have been juicy but weren't that juicy, and then making them ridiculously juicy. So we take the story of Madonna asked Weird Al to do Like a Virgin. That's probably a phone call. She probably called him up and was like, because the way he always tells that story is, I talked to Madonna and she said, when are you doing like a surgeon? And he's like, oh, that's funny. I guess I could do that song. And then the movie turns that into he had a love affair with Madonna, and she goes to it, and she goes to his house, and they make out up against a wall. It's hilarious. I bet that happens with Coolio. I bet they do a whole thing where like Coolio comes in and beats the crap out of him, and where if they dramatize that, I bet it's Weird Al being a total jerk face, and he's like, well, Coolio doesn't want me to do that song, I'm gonna do it anyway, and he does it, and then Coolio comes over and punches him in the face. I hope that happens. That would be really funny. But then it also makes me wonder.
But Coolio would have to be game for that.
Say again.
Coolio would have to be game for that. Like if it's still sad, touchy subject for him, then I don't know.
True.
Weird Al would do that.
But maybe, but I mean, Coolio's in all kinds of stuff now. Maybe there's enough water under the bridge that they actually get him to come in and it's a secret
And beat
guest
up
star.
Daniel Radcliffe?
Yeah, and beat up Daniel Radcliffe. Yeah, it'd be great. It'd be great. But I also wonder how meta it gets. If it stretches so much time that we get like a Weird Al in like old person makeup in like the 2040s or something at the end, where he's like looking back on his career, something crazy like that.
I mean, that is something he would do.
I could see him going that far. Yeah. Anyway, and there'll be something about like how hard it is to get in and out of the fat suit, and somebody like pressuring him to keep putting it on. They'll probably do that. Like they're gonna make him as unlikable as humanly possible, and it's gonna be hilarious.
Will there be something about Santa?
Or maybe not. Maybe he'll still be somewhat endearing. Oh, I bet there will be something about Santa.
Yeah.
Yeah, Santa will be like somebody he doesn't like that comes out on stage all the time and punches in the face. Jason's
Cap just wants so many people punched in the face in this movie. That's Cap's contribution to the...
Jason's going to some deep pull stuff that you may or may not be aware of, DJ. But they when they do The Night Santa Went Crazy, or no, it's not even a Santa song.
It's Fat.
Is it Fat?
It's Fat.
They do a bit in Fat on the multimedia stage show where a guy in a Santa suit runs up on the stage and Weird Al punches in the face, and they do it almost every time. It's great.
Almost every time.
I just wish they would get to White and Nerdy, because that's my favorite Weird Al song, and Daniel Radcliffe. Well, they're not doing it because he's not doing the voices, but he really can rap really well. Like there's this clip from a Late Show where he raps like insanely fast.
Yes.
And that would be really cool.
Or aerobotics. Yeah.
Yeah. But he's not doing it anyway. They're just using Weird Al's voice, so it doesn't matter.
I might be reading this, or is it possible? I bet they're not doing this. I was gonna say, is it possible that just for the trailers they're using Weird Al's voice, and then we get in the movie it's not them?
Maybe.
I don't know why they would.
I don't know why they do it that way.
I don't know why they would think that would be a selling point.
No, me neither. I mean, I would think that the main reason they're doing it the way they're doing it is just so that Weird Al is in the movie.
Yeah.
And maybe because they just didn't like what Radcliffe sounded like, or because somehow, like I said, that's part of the parody, that's part of the joke. And I don't immediately get that, because I think most of these biopics use the voice of the person that's playing the character. But yeah, I might be reading this wrong. We might not have a Weird Al in this movie that's like a horrible person, because Radcliffe is a really endearing choice if you made him just a total a-hole. But I'm sure they're going to have that period, right, where he's like all strung out and he's horrible to people, and then he redeems himself after that.